Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. Today is Flexible Friday, so on Fridays we are getting flexible. And today is all about our shoulders and our hips, so we're going to give those areas a lot of love today. So if you enjoy this video, just leave a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let's get started, you guys. So we're going to start sitting down, but instead of sitting cross-legged or on our knees or anything like that, we're actually going to bring the soles of our feet together and our knees out nice and wide. So this is called butterfly, and it's kind of a nice hip opener. You might even be getting into your inner thighs, but I want you to adjust the diamond that you're making with your legs to a place that allows you to sit tall. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to put them on your knees and you're just going to sit really, really tall. So the closer your heels are to your hips, the more you might want to round forward. So just slide them a little bit further away from you if that helps you sit nice and tall through your spine. And then as we sit here, you're just going to keep those hands on your knees, but you're going to start to close your eyes. So just starting to find our breath here. Breathing softness into those hips if you're really feeling that. And just letting go of your day. It is Flexible Friday. So for me, it's Friday. I don't know about what day it is actually for you, but that's the funny thing with these YouTube videos. You can do them anytime, anywhere, right? So we're just going to let go of our day or whatever it is that we might have to do after this yoga practice. And you're just going to start to grow a little bit taller through the spine. Each time you take a breath in and each time you take a breath out, just relax your shoulders, but try to keep sitting nice and tall. And each time you take an inhale, you sit taller. And each time you exhale, you even soften your hips, your shoulders and your hips. I guess today is all about the shoulders and hips, right? Funny how that works out. Sometimes you think I might actually plan the class ahead. So just a few more breaths here, sitting nice and tall. Eyes closed. Just feeling your breath. Awesome work. So feel free to keep your eyes closed or start to open up your eyes, but we're going to take our butterfly a little bit further. So if you do want to adjust that diamond shape you're making with your legs, again, you could potentially slide the heels closer or keep them exactly where they are, but we're going to add a little bit of a fold if you want it. So I like to bring my hands behind me, behind my hips a bit, and then just sit really tall. So pushing into those hands, into the fingertips to sit really tall, and then tip forward from the hip. So you can adjust where your hands are on your mat as you fold, but they're just going to help keep a nice long spine, and that should prevent some back pain that you might get if you just completely let your forehead come down towards your toes by rounding your spine. So you can stay here, or you could have your arms in front of you. Again, you can fold as far as feels good. But again, just listen to your body. Listen to where there's tightness or tension. And make adjustments as necessary. And if you have no idea of what an adjustment could be to help you relieve tension or tightness somewhere, you gotta leave that question in the comments below this video and I will let you know. Awesome, you guys. So let's start to come up and out of our butterfly. So you can bring your knees back together. Just bring your feet to the mat, give them a little hug, shake it out, shake it out. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees. So moving into a lunge, but starting on our hands and knees. So that right foot is going to come forward. And that left knee is going to stay planted on the mat. So sinking your hips forward to the front of the room here. So adjusting that front foot so that it's still underneath your front knee, depending on how far you shift your hips forward. Okay, so maybe you're up here, making a 90 degree angle with your legs, or maybe you're coming here into a different angle with those legs. I won't try to guess which one it was. But bring your hands to the mat to start, and just think about pushing those hips forward. It's all about that hip flexor right now. You might even be feeling this in that right side too. That's perfect. But mostly that hip flexor. So the hands can stay on the mat. Keep your chest kind of proud here if you can. Keep the chest proud. You can look forward. You can close your eyes, whatever. Just keep those fingertips on the mat. Breathe. Awesome, you guys. So just a little bit longer in this lunge. So if you want to take it a little bit further, you could bring the hands to the knee. And as you send those shoulders back, that should deepen that stretch you're getting in that hip flexor. But don't let the hips come up. So if they come up and you're up here now, bring your hands back down to the mat. You're good. You're in a good place. I still feel it even when my hands are on the mat. It's all about how far forward the hips are and not really where the shoulders are. But again, if you're up here, you're up here. You're loving it. You're feeling it. You're breathing. Nice job, you guys. So let's just take one more inhale, getting into those hips. And then as you exhale, you can start to relax. So just bring the hips back a little bit just to take all that pressure out of that hip flexor. That shouldn't last too long, that stretch, that sensation that you were feeling. We're going to come into pigeon next. So you can bend back into your front knee and start to heel toe your foot over to the left side of your mat. And you're just going to drop that right hip all the way down. So take that left foot and tuck it in. So you're going to start to lift up off that right hip. So you were completely sitting on that right hip, but I want you to lift it back up. So thinking about bringing both of your hips down towards your mat the same amount. Square the hips to the floor. So your heel can be nice and close, maybe even touching that left hip. And this knee is coming pretty far forward. And your hips are just kind of coming nice and low to the ground. And then you could fold forward if you want to. If you do have a little bit more open hips and you're not really feeling much with the heel on the hip, you're going to start to just walk it away. But again, I don't want you completely collapsing onto that right hip. I want you to bring the left hip down towards the mat as well. And then you can fold forward from there. Okay, so decide where you want to be with that front leg. Even that back leg could bend out, bend a bit. But we're really focusing on that right glute. As much as some people feel this in that right hip completely and they don't really get into the glute, we don't want that. We want to actually feel this in the glute. So again, any questions or comments, just feel free to ask. But if you're feeling the right spot, you're feeling that glute, that quad, perfect. Just settle in. Nice job, you guys. So you could stay a little longer, but if you're ready to move along, we're going to come up and out of this pigeon, out of this hip stretch. So finding your way onto your hands and your knees again, just take your hips for a little rock side to side. Let go of all those feelings that you're getting in those hips right now. And we're going to go into the other side. So bringing that left foot forward this time for that lunge. So again, thinking about bringing the hips forward to the front of the room. Forward as in front of that back knee. And then adjusting your front leg so that the knee is over top of the ankle. Staying here with your hands on the mat to start, but just lifting that chest. As you lift the chest, hopefully the hips want to sink just slightly further. And just breathing. Nice job, you guys. So feel free to stay here with the hands on the hips, or if you're able to keep those hips really low as you send the shoulders back, that should start to deepen that feeling that you're getting in that right hip flexor. Breathe. Relax. And just feel. Nice work, you guys. Let's take one more breath in. And breath out as you start to bring it back. And then just take a second to release that hip completely. So send the hips back a bit. Take all that pressure out of that right side. And then when you're ready to come into pigeon, bend the front knee again. Start to move your foot over to the right side as gracefully as you can. I like to come all the way down onto the left hip to start, and then adjust that front leg. So starting by bringing the heel to the right hip this time maybe. And then maybe moving it away from the hip if you feel comfortable, if you feel like you need that deeper stretch, but both hips are trying to come down towards the mat. So hopefully you're not completely leaning over to the left. This is an exaggeration, but again, it happens. So just acknowledge it, make a little adjustment, find what works for you though. Again, any questions or comments? I'm really promoting leaving comments today. I don't know why, but maybe I will get a comment or two. Awesome work, you guys. So take another breath here. We're going to move into our shoulders next. So enjoy this last breath in the hips. And then you can start to lift on up, bringing that front leg back into your tabletop position, and just taking those hips for a nice rock side to side. Okay, so our hips are actually going to stay above our knees. We're going to come into a puppy dog. So you can start to reach your arms out in front, really far out in front, but keep the hips stacking above the knees, and then start to drop your forehead down. Dropping your forehead, dropping your chest as well. Getting into those shoulders. Awesome work, you guys. So use an inhale, start to lift your chest up. We're going to slide all the way forward onto our stomach, getting into those shoulders a little bit more. So from your forearms, your right arm is going to reach out in front, and you're going to take your left arm. Actually, you know what? Sorry, guys. Let's do the left arm reaching out in front first, and then taking your right arm and tucking it in underneath your chest. So it's kind of tucking in under your chest. You're making kind of a T shape with your arms, but you're going to lay down on that arm. So the right shoulder is probably going to hit the floor way before the left one. Rest your head on the mat as well. And then if you're not feeling enough, if you want more, you're looking for more of a stretch to that right shoulder, think about taking that left one and bringing it down to the mat as well. So oftentimes we're rolling over to the right, we're laying on our right shoulder, but think about rolling to the left. Awesome job, you guys. So let's start to come out of this one, and we'll go to the other side. So lift up, take that right arm out from under you, and then the right arm's going to reach forward. The left arm's tucking under the chest. So tuck it all the way in. Let that left shoulder come all the way down. Let your head come all the way down. And then only if you want more do you try to drop the right shoulder towards the mat as well. So nice and slowly start to lift yourself on up. So we're going to stay on our stomachs. We're going to do one more nice shoulder opener. So let's start with the right arm, the left arm. I'm trying to figure out which side works best for you guys to see better. But the left arm's going to come out nice and straight and in line with your shoulder. So it's almost like you're making a T shape. A T shape with your body. Your arm is the T, or part of the T. Left cheek's going to come to the mat. You're looking away from that arm, and then you're going to start to lift that right hip up. That right shoulder's lifting up, and you're just pushing your right hand into the mat to help you lift your body up. It's like you want to lay all the way, roll all the way over onto your back. So you can even bend your knees, plant your feet, whatever helps you open up by dropping that right hip to the floor behind you. So maybe your belly button's now shining towards the ceiling. Maybe it's not. But you're only going to roll as far as you need to feel that through that left shoulder, that arm, even into your chest. If your elbow is bothered in this one, you could flip the palm to face up, but try not to move the arm too much from where it was. Keep that arm nice and straight. And then slowly start to roll back completely onto your stomach. We're going to try the other side so you can bring that left arm in. Send that right arm out. Bringing your head all the way down to the mat. And then this time that left hip, that left shoulder is lifting up. Again, you can bend your knees, you can plant your feet, whatever helps take you a little bit further. But you shouldn't be looking at that arm that's out to the side right now. Look away from that arm. And then rolling over. And you can take that left hand. Maybe it stays in front of you. Maybe actually rest on your low back. That might take you a little bit further. Nice, you guys. Let's start to roll back out. Roll out. Roll out. Bring your hands underneath of your shoulders. We're just going to push ourselves back all the way into child's pose. So bring your knees out nice and wide. Big toes together. Sit back towards your heels. And then drop your forehead and your chest all the way down. So if you're really feeling that in your shoulders, just bring your arms to your sides. And just relax those shoulders. Let the eyes close. Find your breath. Staying here a little bit longer or starting to lift all the way back up. Awesome job today, you guys. Just find a comfy seated position. Bringing your hands together at heart center. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend if it is Friday for you. If not, just have an awesome week. And until we meet again, namaste.